There's a new push to win a pardon for the Australian Boer War soldiers Breaker Morant and Peter Hancock. The Attorney-General, Robert McClelland, is to demand the British government officially review the trial that ended with the two men being convicted of killing 13 people in the final days of the South African conflict. The story was made famous by the 1980 movie Breaker Morant. This is a little of the final scene of that film.
Shoot straight, you bastards! Don't make a mess of it! Falling forward! Hello!
Well, Nick Bleszynski is an author and journalist who's been fighting for the pair to be pardoned for many years, and he joins me now. So, Nick Bleszynski, previous petitions and attempts to get these two pardoned have failed. What's different about this bid?
Well, Ros, what's different about this one is simply that the Attorney-General has reviewed the evidence. I think the problem has been for the past 110 years is actually getting somebody to just look at the evidence and, you know, give it a fair trot. And to his eternal credit, Mr. McClelland has looked at the facts. He hasn't been distracted by all the vested interests and, you know, any of the diplomatic niceties. He's just looked at the hard legal facts.
So he doesn't have any new evidence. What's he basing his request on?
What he's basing his request on is very serious flaws in the procedure that was followed in 1902. In a nutshell, there were three basic big problems with it. First of all, when the men were arrested, they were kept in solitary confinement for 3 months, not allowed to associate with each other, and also not allowed any access to legal representation. At the time of the court-martial, they had 1 day to prepare. J.F. Thomas, who defended them, actually arrived 24 hours before the trial and had 6 clients. So again, that contravened, you know, the British Manual of Military Law. And then also when it came time to the execution, they had 18 hours notice and they had no right of appeal either to the Australian government or to the King, which again was their right.
But what difference does it make now? Does it matter now, over 100 years after the execution, whether or not these two men are pardoned?
Well, I'd ask the relatives about that, because they've been some of the prime reason that we've kept going with this for 12 years now. The relatives suffered enormously as a result of the stain on their family's character. When you speak to them, and I've had the privilege of speaking to them and hearing them be interviewed by the media many times, and they will tell you that their family has lived with this disgrace for 110 years, and they feel it's unjust. Also, it's a stain on the nation's character as well. 3 Australians were accused of doing something where, in actual fact, Lord Kitchener himself was in fact responsible. In 1902, superior orders were a defence.
Nick Bleszynski, we have to leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ros.